We're also going to need a bunch of, like, as much as you can get, sand, gravel, and clay. So I hope one of these pools have clay in it. And at last, here's the village here. We have, you guessed it, clay. And we want as much as we can get, basically. But at least the newer versions of Tinker's Construct do let you make very small smelteries. And I can go to town and get most of what we need from their non-functional one.
Is our pickaxe good enough to...
I think so.
I see. You sent me to do this so that you didn't have to hear the villagers.
And my tool broke. Okay, so we put the flint shovel in your crafting grid. You put a piece of flint in your crafting grid, and now you have a not quite broken shovel.
I'm going to have to do that with my pickaxe when I get back.
If you're out of flint, that's hard, but since you can get flint on the go, it's a fairly easy thing to do, even without, you know.
I've got some flint still.
If it's not broken yet, it's not. Do I have a stack yet? Yeah, stack plus 14. Good. Good.
So, do you need to make these out of seared bricks, or is it anything?
Smeltery needs to be seared bricks. There's a few variants of it.
How do you get seared bricks without?
Well, show you, because we're going to have to make some anyway. That smeltery is incomplete. But that's why I am getting the clay, gravel now. And sand. Okay, and we're back at the mini mine. My brother did find some copper gravel ore, which we can also dig up. Which means if we go into our little hidey hole thingy, we can cook some of that and right click on your face, which is not very functional. So we have some supplies. We have some clay. And basically, if we make what would be a flower pot in unfired clay, regular clay, not bricks, we get the unfired clay bucket, which then we can fire into a fired clay bucket. And we're going to make a couple of these, I think. Oops. Fail. You need food?
Just handed you some.
Which is why I have more now. I just took what's in there, so if you don't have. And now my food is full. My health has been full. Now, unfired clay buckets mostly act like a regular bucket, except they do not take well to lava. Basically, they're one use only if used with lava.
Okay.
But when you place it down again. But if you use it for water, you can use it as much as you want. And the reason they exist in iguana tweaks like this is because we can't mine iron yet, and therefore not get more traditional buckets yet. And the fix for that is, of course, to do this. Now, we're going to hold on a second while I make weather quiet. There we go. Nighttime?
Yes.
So we're also going to sleep, which should stop the weather, I hope. If not, we'll have to hook that in the pack in the future.
Looks good.
So, you were asking about the other thing. So I'm going to make 16 clay. You can see here, the clay blocks. You're used to those.
Yeah.
And we're going to put it in there with a bunch of sand and a bunch of gravel.
Okay.
And this gives us fruit. Which now we have 2 stacks of. Very cool. And we need to, we need to smelt. And that makes the seared bricks, the brick form, not the block form. Now, if you're wondering what I'm coming out here for, it's this tree. Actually, well, let's make a mattock. Mattock would be useful about now.
Attic.
A mattock is, if I convert the rest of this flint, is a shovel plus an axe, basically, to combine.
Okay.
So it's a shovel and an axe head pattern here, which is what I quickly do. There we go. And if we come over to the tool station, it's this tool on the far right top corner in my GUI anyway.
Okay.
And there we go, flint mattock. There's a few good points about it. It's +6 attack damage, which is, if you're used to vanilla weapons, basically an iron sword. And therefore, I find them very good for early game Tinker's weapon. So let me, before I do anything else, put it in my weapon slot. And also, since it mimics an axe, is very efficient at wood.
Okay. That's convenient to have.
Hmm?
Just made my own. That's convenient.
So, and it also digs dirt, but not other diggables very well. And if you right-click on the ground with it, it tills it.
Nice.
So it's a good all-purpose tool. There are swords and tinkers. They are better later on, but until you have some very high-level metals, I just assume use this. My personal preference, tinkers if it's nothing but if customizable to your own desires. So, yeah. And we are back. So we have that. And it goes in here. And we're just going to smelt these. And if we wait a second, we'll see what it becomes. There we go.
Okay.
The seared bricks. And as I said, I'm probably going to just make a smeltery out of, from new, and we'll then expand it with what you brought. Yeah, because that'll let me show everyone the recipes. And this is very basic stuff. Now, to see the recipes normally, you would go to this Materials in You, Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
You are learning to tinker. And this shows you all of what we've been doing in Tinker's Construct. So there's your drying rack, the tables, the level up to the tool forge from the tool station, which would be nice, but we need a bunch of some metal. It usually accepts more than just iron. I'll have to check NEI to verify that. And how to get all these books again if you should lose one. And most importantly, the alternate book recipe.
Okay.
And of course, in NEI on the right here, you can always search all these. So if we search book while we are waiting, you can see the alternate recipe and the main. Correction. Alternates. but we're not in the Erebus yet, so this whole exoskeleton plate's not going to be very useful. And most of these books, except for this World Domination with Open Blocks, are Tinker's Construct. That looks so silly. The mushroom hat on your mushroom head. Okay, just remembered we have one of these little cemetery things here, right near our base, just down that way. And in the mausoleum, there's usually a small chest. The treasure in it usually leaves a little to be desired. We have some rotten flesh. We can book books of weird names, which is annoying because they won't stack. Cobweb, a bone. And this one has this thing we just saw when I went off clip. The Forgotten Armor of Fire. I notice projectile protection 2 and thorns 1. I'm not noticing fire protection.
Or fire, or maybe does it burn when you put it on? Like, is it on fire?
Don't think so. Sure, it's just an iron chest plate.
Yeah, it looks like an iron chest plate.
Gives me 3 shields.
Better than I've got.
Back here, we now have our seared brick. Yay. So, and a larger room. So it's time to make a smeltery. Since you're making a larger room, we're going to make it in here. As opposed to outside.
I was thinking. How much space do you need?
So, the minimum is, of course, a 1x1 base these days. I'm going to say I hope marble is stone level.
Yes.
But I really like the 4x4 bases, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 1 around the outside. So that would mean the front face is that. And then it's square. Because not going square is wasteful. What did I get? What did I get? Haste 1. Cool. On the shovel. Okay.
I'm gonna go kill something. This is bothering me. Oh, it was
There
gone.
she goes.
Oh, there's 2 more.
Congratulations.
Oh, and we got rid of the bed. It's great.
Goodbye. I was like far away, but in range, so I like teleported 1 block. You went. So back to Tinker's Construct. So the simple thing is, and I'm just going to do a bunch of these right now, is to make the seared bricks like you found. And that's just 4 of the seared brick, normal brick. Recipe. You here? So that's the easy one.
Okay. Okay.
That recipe. Are we?
Yeah.
Okay. The other one are as follows. That's the controller,
Okay.
which is the key of it. That is a casting basin. It's a basin. That is a casting table. You probably picked up one of those, or two of those, or three of those, or whatever.
Yep.
That is a smeltery. No. Out of my hand. The mighty smelting in you comes forth one of those crafts. That is the smeltery drain. Okay. What piece am I missing? And I'm missing what most people do. Well, historically, you need it. There's 8. What is the thing called? A smeltery tank. I don't prefer them. So I'm going to show them, but I'm not going to craft one. Oh, I don't need the corner piece. Which is why I didn't fill in the corners here. We're going to have to move your heads, I think. No. No. Not you. There's a drain. One drain goes here. We only have the one drain, right? Yeah. So I'm going to make a second drain, because I like 2 drains. It's easy enough. And I did take all those bricks, right? Yeah. The second drain goes here. Okay. So, the basic structure, if I figure out what it thinks those went, is any size square up to like 5 by 5 or something like that on the base here. But it can be a 1 by 1, so we can go smaller. And it just needs to be complete, you know, corners can be missing, but otherwise complete around and at least 1 tall. So if I put a valid block here, it would turn into a smeltery, though what we want is a tank of some sort for the lava. And most people make this thing because it was the original one, the seared tank. I don't usually bother. It uses much more seared brick than I want to use, and it's not required. There are a couple of other options. One, if you have the glass, and what I usually use is just seared glass. There is another one. I forget what the recipe is. Wait. That? Yeah, it's that. And a seared window. So you have the seared glass, seared window, and seared tank. All can hold lava and are valid for this. So we're going to make the seared window there. And I'm going to put it in the missing spot. And you see the smeltery has turned on. And you can see it has the 4x4 available. And what I'm going to do now is put these up here. And we'll see if we can't make this too tall, because then we'll get more smelting space. Basically, you can melt down as many items as there is blocks inside. So right now we can do 4x8. And if we got 2 more, I think that's a full stack, if my math is not, you know, messing up on me. I'm just going to toss them in here. I'm not as worried about that right now, because we don't have the lava for that much. Bed's going to need to move.
Is it? Oh.
it is. And there's the bed. So we have those buckets of lava we collected.
Here. I only have the one right now. I only found one lava source.
So basically, use this like a bucket to pick up lava. If you don't know that, we're in trouble. And we right-click it into the seared window there in this case, or the other options I mentioned. And now when we look in here, we see the lava fuel 1,000 millibuckets of lava. Cool. Now we put in some metal, like copper.
We got a lot of aluminum.
Yeah, let's not put in that much aluminum. Do we have more copper than that?
I only found those two.
This might be interesting. I'm gonna put in one and a couple of aluminum. And if I have to waste some, I will. Okay. So now I go back to the part builder here. The part builder here. There we go. And I make a cobblestone pickaxe head. Can only be used to make cast, cannot be used on a tool. So I can't actually make a cobblestone pickaxe, we have to use the flint. But I can make something that looks like
It looks like the head of a pickaxe.
And put it there. Oh, got a piece. Good thing I didn't use all the bricks. You also need the these, the seared faucets.
Ah. You can't just drain into nothing?
No, we could use one of the other mod things, but it needs to.
Is this making a copper aluminum alloy, or is this making
This
copper
is an
and
alloy.
aluminum?
This will be an alloy. I should probably give you a few of these. Since you've crafted them, I just stole them. I'm hoping we get rid of this iron right in the middle of this.
That'd be nice when we can get there.
We can move while I'm waiting. This. I can just put it under, and it'll work identically. And that holds its item, so I didn't have to worry about the...
Stuff is melted now.
Okay. If I did this right, we have 5 ingots of melted aluminum brass and 3 nuggets extra. And I have 6 nuggets of copper. That's good, because I still have 1 full copper, which will give us 2 ingots worth separate from that. Let me put in 1 more aluminum and see if that finishes up. Anyway, we'll be right back once I figure out the right ratio here. I could go look it up, but somehow I get it wrong anyway. Okay, so you can see now we have 8 molten aluminum brass ingots. That is a good start. And now I'm going to put the copper gravel ore in. Now, I was really using this to make the alloy. You could have, if you just want to make some aluminum into, ingots, you can always just toss it in a furnace. Standard, normal. And the same for the copper, except I need to make molds out of it. But the alloys, we can't do that with. So the first thing we're going to do is pour that in here. And one of those ingots will become our pickaxe head cast. While we are set up for it, let me get one of these seared bricks. And we'll put that in there as well. And we can pour that cast, or you can. And that'll give us an ingot cast. And if we have some wood, let me cheat a little and just make 4 chests at once. There we go. 8 planks makes... And now I have some more patterns. Perfect. Interesting. Don't know why I missed that one before. And this can just go somewhere in reach. If we make it taller, we'll do something. I don't care. And this basically can hold the casts, which is why I like one. That's all. Nothing more complicated than that. If that copper is melted, we can move it to the bottom, and we have 2. Not a lot of copper, but it'll give us 2 pickaxe heads. And since there's 2 of us, that's perfect. So now we just pour that. It becomes solid. You can take that one. Pour 1 more.
Any advantage or disadvantage to using different materials for the binding and the handle?
Yes. More durability, different stats on the weapon. You sort of see them when you build it in the part builder. Now, if I put this in now, it won't work because it needs to be fully repaired first. But I have a piece of flint. And cutter. And now you can see I have a copper mining level clumsy with 100 and something more. But that means I can't quite yet do iron. You're probably closer to it.
Except I need 1 more piece of gravel. Unless there's something in there? No.
I have some. Where are you?
Are you?
Big TARDIS.
I figured your Doctor Who reference was a little too subtle. I decided to go all out. Alright, so how do I do this? I make it fully repaired.
Fully repaired.
Okay. Then I take my copper head.
Yes. And you put it on as well.
Okay. And this gives me copper durability. Comfortable.
Which you already had. You're still skill level comfortable from before, but now you will have mining XP again. And if you mine like half a dozen, you're at 78, needing 93.
Yeah, I'm at 94.88%.
So if you go into the cave below a little bit and you dig a little bit, you'll be able to get that iron out of our way. Okay, so I think that about covers getting your first decent tools. And it should get you going. I mean, at this point, you need to level up. So your next level of tool is iron. After that, it's bronze. Well, tin, but tin and copper and the alloy, the same way we did the aluminum brass, makes bronze. What else? And that'll get you up to obsidian level, which should take care of anything in the overworld for you. Probably be back next time for some other work, a little more leveled up. Probably get into the starting of Botania, because that is a big part of this pack. Okay, till then, see you next time.
Okay. Have a good night.